Hey everybody, Grant Miller here. Miami Community News. I'm with Mark Burns. Coconut Grove bid.
So happy to be here, Grant. Appreciate you having me.
Tell us. Hold on. First of all, I got a hat. I finally got something from Coconut Grove other than a cold.
Got to bring a little swag with me.
Yeah, absolutely. Explain what. Before we get going, talk about the bid. I want to know more about you. What's the bid?
Yeah, I try to put things in simple terms when I speak to people about kind of what I do. And I kind of liken it to like you have an association for your home, right? You know, you have a condo association, HOA type thing. Well, we're similar to like an HOA, right? We help supplement the city services and take care of the neighborhood, right? We give additional security. We do events to try to bring people, but this is more of a business scale than a neighborhood
How does
scale.
bid function financially? How do you get money?
So we get money. We get the largest chunk of money that we get comes from the building owners located in our little business district there. So they pay a small fee. It's about 42 cents a foot of their square footage of their residential property, commercial property. And then some of them are capped out, like the hotels are capped out at like $10,000 a year. So 42 cents a foot. So if you have 1,000 square foot business, you're talking $420 a year. So it's not astronomical, but that's the majority of it. We get some parking revenue as well from the city, and some other ancillary
Okay, before
areas.
they had a bid, where did that money count? Where did that money? Like, the hotel paid $10,000. Where would that money go if it didn't?
Well, so that money wouldn't. It's like an additional tax that they pay on the real estate
gotcha.
tax, so it wouldn't be there. But some of the other avenues that we do generate, they're city revenues, like for parking waivers, which is basically through zoning. If you have, I don't want to get too into the weeds with it, but these are fees that if the bid wasn't here, you know, we're able to keep that money in Coconut Grove, and if the bid wasn't here, that money the city could use elsewhere, right? So that's one of the beauties of it.
I want to learn more about you, but the bid, it's not all Coconut Grove, is it?
No.
What is Coconut Grove? So let's say, what's your boundaries for the bid?
So the bid is pretty much, you know, Main and Grand, out east over to Bayshore, a good portion of
To Monty
Bayshore
Trainers?
Drive. It doesn't. Monty's actually isn't in the bid. It doesn't go that far
what's your north?
It's a little bit past City Hall. It's a little bit past.
Is
City
that
Hall.
part of the hangar in that area?
So it gets complicated, right? So city-owned property is excluded from the bid, and the hangar is city-owned property.
Okay, so from City Hall
like
south to
basically over to Taurus, pretty much, in that end, like and on Grand, it's more like CVS is kind of towards the end on that side as well.
It's funny you brought up the tourist. Mr. Hill is still alive.
Wow,
he's just, the tourist was like the hangout.
It's a staple.
It is a staple. So, all right. So, where are you from, Mark?
I'm a South Florida boy. I grew up in. I was born actually in Missouri, but I moved here. My parents moved here when I was just an infant. So I grew up in Plantation. I currently live in Hollywood. So I've been in South Florida my whole life. But I worked down for the city of Miami for around 10 years and had different jobs around.
So you had
here.
Coconut Grove bid for how long? This is your second year?
Yeah, this is going into my second year. Yeah, April is when I started. So I had my anniversary.
8 years before?
8 years before, I was the leasing manager at the city of Miami in the real estate department. So I worked on a lot of the deals.
That's a big job.
Yeah, I worked on the hangar deal. That was in 2013. That was one of the first contracts that I helped work on with my director and got approved. So I was happy to finally see that come to fruition and get built.
I was at the hangar this last weekend, thing called Dirty Boxing. My son says, for Father's Day, I'm going to take you to Dirty Boxing.
Son right there.
And it was Friday. Was it Friday night or Saturday? Whatever. It must have been Saturday. And I go, what is Dirty Boxing? He says, just show up. We have dinner at Bayshore. Then we go over. So it is boxing, but you include elbows.
Okay.
Holy cow, it was so vicious. But guess what? Whoever was inside all paid top dollar. You're watching it.
Wow.
It was impressive. You know, the whole park, all the parking lots were full. I did valet. Bam. I was shocked. Like
a mix between kickboxing and boxing. Seems like without the kicking and knees.
But it was wild. Bayshore was busy.
Sure.
The bar was busy. The valet was busy, but it only took me 5 minutes.
Events like that bring people to the Grove, the Montreux Jazz Festival, all the hotel GMs rave about it.
On which event?
Montreux Jazz Festival, which is it's either right before or right after the Arts Festival, so probably early March, I think it is. Phenomenal event, and it's the headliner Baptiste was on the Super Bowl, did I think the national anthem for the Super Bowl. So yeah, that's another thing we try to do, is do events to bring people to the Grove, fill up the parking lots, fill up the restaurants, fill up the retail, and get people out to go spend their money in Coconut Grove.
A couple years ago, I guess it was before your time, Grove was dead. Whatever the reason was, I think part of it was Coco Walk was being rebuilt.
Right.
I get my haircut, it doesn't look like it at Fade. Is that in the district?
Fade Masters?
Yeah.
Fade Masters, that is in the
I get my haircut there. I have it cost me more to park than to pay the haircut, but I really like these guys. They're local guys. They're very super friendly.
Well, do you live in the Grove?
No, I'm not a Grovette.
Okay.
I just want to be a Grovette.
Got it.
Okay, so let's talk about you. Okay, so you grew up, you went to Hollywood High School. What high school?
Plantation High School.
Plantation. Where'd you go to college?
Florida State.
And did anything after that? How long? Was it a 4-year plan or a 6-year plan?
It was a 5-year plan, right in the middle.
There, Florida State.
Smart enough to know I wasn't in a hurry to get out of college.
That's a true Florida State fan.
I see. I applaud these young folks who want to graduate early, but in the back of my head, I'm like, come on, man! Like, this is you have your whole life to have responsibilities and all these things. All you got to do is go to school and have a little fun and try to get good grades.
The movie Rodney Dangerfield, Back to School.
Oh, one of my favorites. One of my favorites of all time.
He had a speech. Remember the speech?
Of course.
Stay in school. Spend your parents' money. So
exactly.
I gave a speech 20 years ago to Palmetto High School. The auditorium was full. They were all expecting important people giving important speeches, and there I am. Stay in school. Spend your parents' money.
Come on. I grew up on those movies. The Triple Lindy. It's the most famous dive of all time.
All right. So you got 2 kids.
2 kids, yeah.
How old are they?
They are 17 and 13. 2 boys, Brock and Trent.
I like that. I like that name, Brock.
Brock Burns. It's a good strong name.
BB.
Yes.
Okay. And where do they go to school?
They're both at Nova in Davie. Nova High School.
Yeah, it's a very good school. They won the state championship something the last couple of years.
Well, back, I think it was like early 2000s. They won a couple of state titles, either late 90s or early.
But Nova University is doing well there too.
Yeah.
Is that connected at all?
They're all in the same area, but there's University School, which is a private school. I can't afford to go there. My kids are at the public one.
You could, but then you wouldn't have a house.
I wouldn't have a house. Yes.
So, driving time.
It takes an hour on a decent day to get down here. Yeah, it's not too bad.
People.
If I come on the weekend for an event or something, it's 45 minutes. I'm down here.
Years ago, driving an hour or two, you didn't have phones, but everybody works off their phone now.
Yeah. It's my fortress of solitude. It's my time alone. Nobody's yelling at me to change the channel on the radio or anything. I listen. I call my parents. I speak to my parents in the morning.
And where do they live?
They live in Plantation still, the house I grew up in.
It's funny because I'll come to work, but if I really want to get something done, I'll get my car and drive somewhere. I don't know why. Like I can do more driving. Sure. I don't know. My brain thinks differently.
You focus. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, let's talk about events you guys are putting on the next year or so.
Well, listen, we were just filming a promo before we came here. Our big event is on the 4th of July. We're going to do it bigger than ever. We always have the Miami Symphony Orchestra come and play.
Where?
This is right at Peacock Park. We're expecting between 7,000 and 10,000 people in there. We have a lot of just bigger and better than ever. We're going to have for your Swiftie fans out there, they have the little bracelets that light up and they kind of synchronize with the music. We're going to be giving those out to, I think, the first like 7,500 people or 5,000. I can't remember exactly the number that we picked up. But some of the complaints.
Are they expensive?
They're like a few bucks, three or $4, I think.
And they don't last forever.
No, they don't last forever.
But people love them.
People love them. So we're trying to have a good experience for the patrons. Man, don't quote me on the price, but it wasn't too bad. If it was too bad, I wouldn't be able to afford it.
No, but people like when it gets dark
Yeah.
people.
It's going to be, we've got the drones are coming back. So we're going to have a drone show.
Not fireworks.
We're going to have fireworks too. Come on. You can't have 4th of July without fireworks. So we're going to have both.
Where's the fireworks? Over the water?
The fireworks are over the water.
So is this a city Miami? Is this the only one City Miami's hosting? No.
I don't know if it's the only one. I think Bayfront might do one, but this is sponsored by the city, sponsored by the Symphony Orchestra, sponsored by the BID, and the county is going to be providing some sponsorships as well. So we're running the whole gamut.
So, and the fireworks can be seen almost everywhere.
Yeah. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be a great show. We're going to have live music. We're starting at 3:05 in the afternoon. So we're going to have
Why 3:05? Why not 3:06?
Because it's cool, right? We're in the 3:05. So
touche.
Got to help people remember. So we're going to have bounce houses for the kids. It's going to be more of an all day.
What age? So I know.
Little kids, I think I'd say 10 and under. I think for the bounce houses. Well, bounce houses, face painting. We're going to have vendors over there. We're going to have food this year, which was a big complaint from a lot of people, is we didn't have. So we're going to have Taste of the Grove. We're going to have many of the restaurants.
You buy the food.
You buy the food. We're going to have many other restaurants come over and set up stations over at Peacock Park. So there's going to be food. It's going to be a wonderful event.
Parking, you just take a Lyft or Uber or.
I would suggest. I mean, we just had an item passed at City Commission to have Circuit, which is a transportation service.
What is that? What is that? Like Lyft?
It's not like Lyft. It's more like Freebie is the one that's more common down here. So it's a similar service to Freebie. It's probably not going to be rolled out by July 4th, since they still have to wait a little bit of time and get the vehicles and things. But we're excited to have that. So that's going to help with alleviate some of the parking problems. Are
you going to have a area? So what are they called? The cars.
Sure.
A certain area, or are you gonna have it like some places you go to the corner, same corner? Yes
and no. There's going to be, so currently Freebie has 2 cars, a circulator that goes to like 20 or 30 different spots within Coconut Grove. That's still going to be there. Then Circuit is going to be on-demand service. A couple of the cars are going to be bid centric. So if you're calling, if you want to go. If you're within the mile radius of the vehicle and you want to go to the bid, or you either start or stop at the bid, you'll be available to all the vehicles. Then some of the vehicles are going to be for Coconut Grove residents and things like that. So yeah, it's just going to amp up the options that you have, and we think it's going to be a great addition to especially with the Playhouse lot. At some point within the next year or so is going to be shut down. That's going to be a couple hundred parking spaces.
It's going to be tough on businesses.
Yeah. So that's why we're getting a little bit out ahead of it and trying to do something to, and this way people will get more in the flow. And then by the time that happens, they'll know how to use it. They'll be more comfortable with it, and hopefully it'll sustain the businesses as best we can.
How many businesses are there in the bid?
Oof. I don't know exactly how many. There's over 200 folios. So some of these are office buildings that have, could contain a few hundred businesses. So there's thousands probably.
So if you're in an office, you still pay for the part of the bid.
Sure.
Not the landlord.
Right. I'm not privy to the contracts of all these office buildings and retail, but I would assume that the landlord is passing through, because it's part of your real estate tax bill.
Gotcha.
So a lot of times, I did real estate. I've done
private
real estate also. So I did property management. So yes, you typically would pass through their proportionate share, their pro rata share onto them. So they would pay that fee back to the landlord. Yes. You would think.
Your biggest challenges do you think is happening?
Believe it or not, the toughest thing that we've come across is really getting the businesses to get involved with the promotions that we do and the things that we do, helping them help themselves. Right?
That's a challenge. That's a challenge. Get the bid. Yeah, it's a challenge anywhere.
Yeah, people are just stuck in their daily routines, and we have opportunities to help them, incentivize them, to help promote them, and to help do things. And I don't want to. It's as time has gone on, it's gotten better, and we're getting more, as you'll see with 4th of July. We had 1 or 2 vendors last year. This year we'll probably have like 10, and the events that we're doing have more participation. But it's difficult to get.
There's an old saying: you're too busy making a living to make any money. All small businesses or medium businesses, even large businesses, not the ones who have a lot of cash flow. You're just trying to make sure you pay the bills, and you get stuck. And you can't figure out what to do, and hopefully the bid can help lead some of these businesses.
That's what we're here to do.
All right, the hottest issue present to the bid. What's the hottest issue that you guys have now?
That's a good question. I think parking is always that's probably the thing that's talked about the most by people. And part of it is just knowing where to go. I don't have problems finding parking. You got the Cocoa Walk garage, you have the Playhouse lot. A lot of these garages are available, and they're moderately priced. Some of them are a little more expensive than others, but that's the main issue that I hear from people, I think.
So you have, let me just go over again. You have Lyft, if you're in Coconut Grove Works area. You have another company, what is it called again?
Circuit,
who's going to be doing somewhat the same thing.
Correct.
So for this event, my suggestion, take an Uber in, Uber out if you don't.
For sure. And
you just got to figure out, the question I have is, where would they go to get out? Because if they're deep down in that hole, I call it a hole.
Right.
You got to get that close to one of the main restaurants, correct?
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
My advice would be,
bicycle.
Bicycle would be great. So we partner with a group to do a bike valet we have every year, and we have it at all of our events. And they do that. Some of the high school kids run it and get volunteer hours.
Oh, you mean the?
Is it it might be the Friends of Commodore Trail, I think, maybe, are the ones who do it for us. I can't remember. It's Hank Resnick, whatever his group is. I don't know.
All right, name some upcoming events coming up.
So obviously 4th of July is the big one that we have. The summer is a little hot, so we typically don't do a lot in the summer. But then come Christmas time, when the weather gets a little bit better, we're trying to do a quarterly concert series where we'll call it Gather in the Grove. We just had our last. No, we just do it on Fuller Street. So we set up a
street
concert.
That's closed off.
The closed off street, yeah.
That was closed off because of COVID, if I remember correctly, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And they kept it closed, and people are very happy with it.
Yeah. We have it's just a great gathering spot right in the middle of the Grove. So we just had a little country themed the day before Father's Day. So we had Gabriel Key come out and do a concert, and everybody was having a great time out there. So we're trying to give back, give free things for people to do, to come out and spend some time in Coconut Grove and come have some fun with us.
Now in Coconut Grove, not in the bid district, but you have the Sheridan. Is that the Sheridan? No, you got which hotels? Yeah, what hotels are there?
What do we got? We got the Aria, we got the Mayfair, we've got Mr. C's, we've got
what's the hotel right across the street
from Peacock?
Mr.
C. Yeah.
What's the one? No, right across from there.
Across the street from that's the Aria. It used to be Sonesta.
Sonesta.
It used to be the Sonesta. Yeah.
Okay, so
we've got a lot of great hotels all in there. Some are in the bid, some are just outside of the bid.
It's all Coconut Grove.
Yeah.
I get all choked up.
We show them all love, because you fill up the hotels, you're going to fill up the businesses, right? I mean, that's kind of my motto.
Art Festival's not yours, but it's a very important part of Coconut Grove, correct?
Yeah, we're a big sponsor. We're heavily involved, and we're big supporters of the Arts Festival.
I love Coconut Grove Art Festival, and then they have St. Stephen's has their own, right?
Little one right out front. Yeah, listen, the community get involved,
and everybody loves it.
Right. Yeah, we try to get. That's another thing, right? A lot of the businesses. Getting them to think outside of the box. Like, how could we have all of these people coming into our little Coconut Grove, our little town? How do we capitalize on them, right? They're probably not going to go to your business that day, but there's got to be opportunities for you to get them to come back and visit your place if you make it worth their while.
January 1st, what is that? The parade? What's that parade called?
You mean Mango Strut? Good times. Fun.
Pretty fun.
It was my first time experiencing it last year, and I had a blast. It was funny, a lot of tongue in cheek, a lot of fun stuff.
So, the reason I brought it up a couple of years ago, one of my sons, hey, let's go eat in the Grove. All right, what restaurant? Great. That was that day.
Oh, good.
But the Greek restaurant there, outstanding in Coconut.
Oh Meraki.
Yeah,
is,
and they have one
is
downtown.
really good. There is one downtown as well. It's
That-
phenomenal.
My son who lives there likes going to the place.
Phenomenal.
Okay, name some other services that BID does.
So we do, our biggest thing is like clean and safe. So we have a crew block by block as an outside service that we hire, and they go out and they keep the streets clean.
Those are your guys.
They don't work for they're hired. Yeah,
but I'm saying I didn't know that. I thought it was part of the city.
No, those are ours. So they're hired by us, paid for by us. So that's probably our biggest expense is the staff to help. We have security officers. We have people that go around and help you find your way, give you information, and then we have staff like porters that pick up and keep the streets clean.
So if you're a tourist and you're there, somebody might help you if you're located.
Exactly. If you walk up to anybody in those block by block Coconut Grove BID shirts, they'll help point you in the right direction.
I like that because when you go to a foreign area, before you had these big old maps.
Right.
Well, now the maps are on your phone. You're looking and you still can't figure it out. So you go up to somebody there.
Right. And we've got the kiosks. We have the kiosks that are strewn about the Grove as well. They're touch screens, big. You go and you're looking for a specific area, and they can show you what, just like a directory in a mall.
That's great.
Yeah.
And the movie theater I hear is outstanding there.
Amazing. Yeah. We've done some partnerships with them, and we had a great idea. I think like Moana 2 or something was coming out, and we did a movie night, and we were trying to get the rights to do Moana and then, encourage people to go to the movie theater. I thought it was a good idea, but Disney wouldn't give us the rights to show Moana or whatever. So we did another movie, but community loved it. Little things we're trying to do just to get people out.
When you say community, you mean all of Dade County?
For sure, but I mean, obviously, it's going to affect the Coconut Grove community first. They're the ones that are the closest and can ride their bike or walk over or take a quick jaunt in the car.
Everybody says that. People that are moving to the Grove, they're doing it because it's a walk community.
Yeah, it is. It's very walkable. But yeah, we welcome everybody to come out. Even people from Broward can come down and come to one of our events. We don't check ID.
I used to work at a boys club.
Okay, very nice.
70, 80, and 81.
Big baseball program there, right?
Isn't
that where A-Rod Field is?
Used to be
Alex
great.
Rodriguez?
It's changed a little bit.
Really?
And it used to be great football.
Really?
And then they moved football off to Grand, but they have outstanding after school care program. Outstanding.
Yeah, a lot of my colleagues from the city, just over the years I've gotten to know them, told me they went there and they went to after school there and things like that. So
all right,
it's a small world.
New game. The real test.
Let's do it.
Okay. Sound, music. Okay. Your wife's birthday.
March 29th, 19.
You don't have to say the year.
I don't want to say the year. All right.
You have two sons.
I got May 21st and 2/2, February 2nd, Groundhog's Day.
Okay. Your parents, if they're still around.
My dad is coming up July 8th, and my mom is December 7th.
Any in-laws?
I do have one in-law, and she's she's April Fool's, April 1st.
100%.
My birthday's tomorrow, by the way.
Wow.
So I thought you were going to wish me a happy birthday
No.
there. I guess my spies didn't give me the right stuff.
Favorite football team?
Oh, the Dolphins, man. Got it.
College.
College. Listen, I grew up going to Canes games my whole life, so I'm a big Canes fan. But I'm a mama's boy, so my mom went to University of Michigan, so I'm a big Wolverine fan as well. So I like the two UMs. It's something with UM.
Well, Michigan.
I really like.
I've never been to a game there. What's 110,000 people?
It's crazy. I haven't been either. I've been to some games here, like I've been to bowl games at the Hard Rock Stadium and seen them play a couple times. But
okay, favorite cowboy or favorite cowboy movie?
Oh, Tombstone, no doubt, it's the best.
Wow, he could have. All right,
one of my favorite
the top
movies.
3 fish places in Coconut Grove.
Fish places. Oh man, you see all the prep we did. You didn't talk about fish. Let's see. Fish places. Seafood. I mean, Bayshore Club is good. I'm not a huge fish guy, to be honest with you. But so we're gonna have to go to another one.
Okay, any taco places in Coconut Grove?
For sure. My favorite is Ada. Like it's over on Marion and Oak. It's right close to the office. It's phenomenal, and it's people don't know about it yet because when I go, there's not a lot, but the food's phenomenal.
Okay.
You can't go wrong with Bar Taco either. That's really good.
Your favorite chicken restaurant? Where do you eat chicken in the Grove?
I like the chicken sandwich at Jaguars. I do love Jaguar is just the food they have there. They
can't go wrong.
You can't go wrong. Like whatever you get.
Do you have a pet?
I do. I have a cat and a dog.
Dog's name?
Luli.
What kind of dog?
Australian Shepherd.
And the cat? What kind of cat? Is it an alley cat?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay.
Kiki.
Okay.
Kiki's the cat.
We're testing you. Favorite pizza name? There's a couple pizza places there in Coconut.
New York Roma is good. I think it's like 2 slices and a drink for $6. I mean,
you can't go wrong on that.
You can't beat that.
And it's on the window. If I'm correct, I see it.
And they're going to be at 4th of July, so they're going to one of the participating restaurants.
Okay, let's see how good you are. The coldest beer in.
Ooh.
Bill, don't laugh over there.
Coldest beer. Barracuda's is the spot. That's the place to go for your beer.
I'll take my mug off while I'm at it. Okay, a couple more things. I know you don't know this. The best hot dog place in Dade County. You got to know. You can't go anywhere. You don't know. It's Arbetter's Hot Dog.
Okay.
And you know what the number one hot dog sold there is? The Grant Miller dog.
Nice.
When you're ready, we'll go have hot dogs.
I would love to go.
Okay, 2 more things. As a kid, who was your hero?
Probably Wolverine, I think, was my favorite little comic book hero. But I was a big sports guy. Maybe Barry Sanders was my hero growing up.
Oh, my God. I just saw a piece on him.
Yeah.
Everybody was crazy. Why did you retire so early? You know why? He's walking.
Yeah, he was smart.
He didn't get hurt.
He made his money, and he's still a Hall of Famer and all that.
Favorite burger place?
Probably Locale, I think. They got a really good burger.
Real good.
And the Jaguar again. They just you can't go wrong.
Okay, couple words. Thanksgiving. Give me some words.
Family.
What else?
Football.
Okay, you must have watched Detroit as a kid.
Exactly. That's my Lions play every year.
Okay, the magic of the mix. What is so magical about Coconut Grove?
The community, they fight. You go to City Hall, if there's ever something that hits them to the core, they're going to show up and they're going to fight to keep Coconut Grove kind of the way that it is and different and separate from the rest of Miami. So definitely the community is what makes it special.
It's interesting when you walk the Grove, you have the old feeling, you have the new feeling, and it's you can feel the energy now.
It's a beautiful place. I used to have leases, and I'd come down here when I was with the city, and I'd visit some of the Shake a Leg or the Grove Bay, Grove Harbor, and I'd visit these places. But now that I'm here, it's such a special place.
While you brought up Shake a Leg, Harry does incredible job.
Amazing
for his organization and for all of Dade County.
Yeah,
hats off to Harry.
Hats off to him.
Okay, I think it's a wrap. I have my UM shirt. This is what I got. I sent my ex-wife and my 2 kids there, and this is what I got.
Go Canes. I love it.
All right, everybody. See you 4th of July at Peacock Park.
Come on out.
Coconut Grove bid. Have a great day.